But if they don't come for any reason, it's perfect.
The space is here and the space is there.
You just want to keep yourself.
The fans deserve more.
Just a bus stop in Hounslow, so we're just taking it game by game.
This was one of the most hardcore 3-0 I ever saw.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Football Armchair Experts, where we pretend to know everything but actually we know nothing. This week we will review Matchweek 6. Chelsea fan Robin, Liverpool fan Inran, Newcastle fan Manjun, and I myself, Mark, I'm a Fulham fan. So I guess we can sort of start with reviewing what has happened in the past Matchweek 5. We could start with the tale of Jesse Lingard this week. Of course, he had a bit of trouble with young boys in midweek, but he's come up trumps to score during the weekend. He was eventually the match winner when Man U beat West Ham away 2-1. So, I mean, what do you make of these few inconsistent performances?
I think nothing of it. I think it's still fine. The blip out against the young boys, to me, it shouldn't really matter that much, And because they got a red card at all, so we can give them a bit of a chance on that. For the West Ham win, I didn't watch the game. Though I am very, very proud to say that when I turned on the game, they were doing the VAR for the penalty. So what a start to my Man U game. But yeah.
Which VAR though? There were quite a few penalty shots.
Sorry. The 93rd minute VAR.
Okay.
The most exciting VAR. Yes. Perhaps this could be the games that they screw up last season, like drawing against West Ham, even though they didn't. They usually have a good record against West Ham. So sort of adds on to their title challenging caliber, if I can say. So for me, no worries about Man U. I think they're doing fine.
McFred was back as the midfield partnership this week, as Ole starts to rejig his midfield. Pogba back as the attacking midfielder on the left, and Sancho not even starting. I mean, do you like this version of Man U a bit more?
I think so, yes, considering who they have now. And I'm not a fan of having Pogba as a double pivot, right, with Fred or McTominay. So I think this is his best lineup. Yeah, pretty much. I think that game was his best lineup, including Ronaldo, Bruno, Greenwood also, I think. Yeah, so I don't see them doing well any other way. Like if it was Pogba in the midfield too, right, I still believe that they will get overrun much more easily. Yeah. Like I think McTominay is their best central midfielder right now. And it's still always an area that I think they need to strengthen. Like it's the final piece to make them more convincing challengers. But the result, I mean, they're still getting results, and that is a championship winning quality. So that is an annoyingly worrying part about their game right now.
Yeah, I think Inran, maybe a few episodes ago, we were talking about how David De Gea made a double save. I think it was against Wolves, and he was saying, maybe it's a one-off. Now with this first penalty save in 5 years, it's the first penalty he saved in 40 attempts. I'm not sure what the average is for goalkeepers. I think that sounds like a poor average or so.
But with De Gea back to his best form, or like at least back to his average form, right? It's quite a scary prospect already, because I guess last season you can still count on him to make a lot of random mistakes, and then they will just drop points and get draws, right? But if now he can rescue them 10-20 points a season, then that's a very big deal.
Some Man U fans also saying possibly that might be a crucial point of the season where maybe if they end up winning the title, touch wood, then that is a point in the season they'll be looking back on. We'll just talk about the West Ham shenanigans at the end. David Moyes, not sure if he was inspired by Gareth Southgate in the Euros, but he decided to do something similar by throwing on Mark Noble at the end. Not sure if Manjun's the biggest Mark Noble fan, but a fan of that kind of move.
Not exactly, Like you can say he's the most sharp, but end of the day, like maybe not the most game sharp. If you put him on a 90th minute, take a penalty. Not too sure. Because is it because he's captain? That's why he does that. I don't remember him taking penalties for West Ham actually.
I think he does. I think he does. And his record so far has been pretty solid. Like he never missed in a long, long while.
All of us didn't see this big a scoreline, although Inran did kind of contemplate giving Chelsea a 4-0, 5-0 win. Eventually, he went for conservatism, went for 2-0.
Just stuck with my 3-0. Working well for me. Don't know what happened.
But Chelsea, of course, also surprisingly starting Kepa in goal, but kept a clean sheet, so nobody can complain about that. How do you grade the performance against Spurs? I'm sure even for you, you sort of predicted this to be a tight match. Eventually, yes, it was a tight first half, but in the second half, completely outclassed Spurs.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Outclass on many fronts, not just on the pitch, but also like on the bench, like managerial outclassing. This game is really a game of two halves. And on the point of Kepa, apparently it's because Mendy got injured, like he took a big blow during training or something like that. So to play safe, he played Kepa instead. So thankfully, it was a clean sheet. But yeah, game of two halves, and N'Golo Kante, I mean, to have the luxury to bring this guy off the bench is crazy. And thankfully, Chelsea has this very scary squad depth. I think definitely serious title challengers. I don't want to jinx it, but I cannot not say it. Yeah, Spurs, I think, still very toothless. Apparently, their first half was very energetic. They pressed well, but I mean, definitely not clinical. Always reliant on only Son and Kane. And apparently, they tried to put Son up against Thiago Silva to fight for pace, which means Kane was sacrificed to play like on the left or something like that. Yeah, and that's a bit of a, I mean, it's a very risky move, a bit galaxy brainy, but it didn't work out lah.
Impressed by Thomas Tuchel's ability to change the game up though.
Yes, I would think so lah. But then again, given his squad depth quality, I would say he's like you wouldn't say an easy job, but then you would expect something out of the team. So I don't think he's doing magical things with this team. But just hitting expectations, Thomas Tuchel.
So what would be for you exceeding expectations then?
Probably win the title.
Okay.
Yeah, because even I don't expect to win the title after 2 years. So that would be something.
Okay, interesting. But I mean, just out of interest, so then who you think would be meeting expectations by winning the title then?
Man City.
Or just Man City?
Man City lah. Okay. I mean, looking at them, you expect to win the title every year, right? Or at least a strong second, like plus minus 1 point behind the second place. You don't expect anything less from Man City, to be honest.
I mean,
you spend $1 billion on your squad, I don't think you expect anything less.
Have to give them chance. I mean, sometimes their stadium not filled enough, so not enough.
Then you just pump more oil from the Middle East.
What do you make of Spurs though? Like Harry Kane clearly, like it seems like his head's not in it. He's not scored in 4 games already. It's the first time in 5 years he's not scored in the first 4 games. Like, what kind of season are Spurs gonna have?
I think he barely even had a shot on target this whole season, right? It was also like I can't remember what the stat was, but it was like maybe 4 shots on target only for the whole season so far. So I mean, this kind of thing very hard to say. The obvious reason to point to for this is that he's trying to I don't know, still force his way out of Spurs, or at least minimally his heart is just not in it anymore. He's not trying as hard.
I guess any matches you might want, doesn't have to be a surprise, any matches you might want to highlight. I think we can start with Inran over the past week.
Okay, let me see. Quite a lot of interesting results, but I think maybe I'll go for the Aston Villa and Everton game, because I think last week I was sort of saying how it was going to be an interesting match because both teams are sort of at a similar level, have like quite a good start to the season also. I mean, not so much for Villa, but they were like building back up to speed, right? And then at the start of and then back to where we were predicting for this season, I think a lot of people seem to feel both teams are like quite equal. So I mean, and then so this game was supposed to be like a sort of a gauge of where they are, and then I don't know what happened, but Aston Villa won 3-0.
Perhaps I could have a reason for that because I was intending to watch this game, and then I was looking at, because usually I check my FPL team before, like in between the 10 p.m. and the late game. So I went in to check, and then Richarlison not starting.
They are disappointing, yeah. Richarlison never. Wow.
And then I went to see Everton's team, right? Jordan Pickford, Seamus Coleman, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Richarlison all didn't start. So I mean, they're all injured. It's not as if Benitez was rotating. So it does seem like, they're ravaged by injuries and all that. And in came their replacements, Asmir Begovic, relegated before, everyone's favorite ex-Arsenal player, Alex Iwobi, and former Newcastle player, Salomon Rondon. So, I mean, not exactly great players to come in as replacements. So maybe that might explain the 3-0 scoreline a little bit. But I don't know, maybe can I ask Manju, am I doing Aston Villa a little bit of disservice by saying it's just...
Not at all, man. As 50-year-old Esmir Begovic was complete trash in this game. I don't know why he was there. He looks out of his depth, even though he's Premier League quality lah. But he looks out of his depth, man. Complete out of his depth. But then looking at that third choice, which I don't know who the hell this guy even is. Andy Lonergan, whoever the hell that guy is, I guess he has no choice lah.
Okay, but I guess maybe in terms of the Aston Villa angle, maybe you can ask Robin. I mean, yes, Everton had all these injury problems, but Aston Villa managed to cash in on it.
Cashing on it.
Very weak punts this week.
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, I think finally they got the goals that their play deserved. I think from their match against Chelsea a few weeks back, I kind of noticed that Aston Villa actually played really well. They just need to score. And in this game, they finally did. And that's all they needed. They just needed to score and be clinical. And sad for Everton, it had to be them. Yeah, not overly surprised. But 3-0 is a big scoreline.
Maybe perhaps a bit of a replacement for Jack Grealish has emerged. Leon Bailey with 1 goal, 1 assist already. So in this game, I think he came on, scored, assisted, and went off injured. So
I mean, there goes his run injured already. How are you gonna build on that?
I guess the Man City game.
Okay.
That'd be a good game to highlight. Props to Southampton lah. I don't know how they do it. But then again, I don't know whether I watched the game, I don't know whether Southampton's defense very good or is it Man City a bit toothless up front. Maybe it's a combination of both lah. But Man City, they didn't seem to impress really. Yeah, they just keep passing for the Grealish, second half pass for the Grealish, see what Grealish does. Then a bit desperate lah. Doesn't seem very Man City-ish of them to rely on one person so heavily.
I guess Wolves Brentford was a pretty worrying result. Like Wolves again, toothless. They are another problem club who cannot score. Jimenez doesn't look like he's gonna score anytime soon. And then Brentford.
Hwang Hee-chan.
He had a lot of energy when he came on, so it was quite nice. A good change of pace, but he's just not enough, right? Adama Traore is super wasteful. He has 0 end product. Extremely frustrating player. And then Brentford just defended really well. I think they went down 1 man midway through the second half, and then they still defended well, created some chances some more. So they could have made it 3-0 lah. The Mbuemo Tiang crossbar.
Props to Brentford, first away win ever in the Premier League. Norwich 1, Watford 3. Little bit surprised by the emphatic scoreline. I think it's not just that. I think Norwich were pretty bad defensively also. I mean, for those people predicting Norwich to stay up, it doesn't look good. Norwich now 15th consecutive defeat in the Premier League. I mean, across 2 different seasons still. They're going for the record. Last time out, we were still talking about Sheffield United going for the record, but that was a winless record. Norwich are going for a losing streak record, different. Okay. This is the second longest. The longest is Sunderland with 20. So they are still 5 away.
Close.
But I don't think Norwich will get relegated. I don't think they'll do as badly as Sheffield last season. Somehow, some way. Dude, they're only like 3 points away from the safety, so it's fine.
Although Norwich are the 5th team to lose their first 5 games of the season, but out of the previous 4, 2 actually managed to stay up.
Quite a
Manjun's favourite Frank de Boer's Crystal Palace managed to stay up, but they got in Roy Hodgson, that's why. And Southampton were the previous team who also lost their first 5 games.
I got Brentford last, but
yeah, doesn't look like they'll be last.
Doesn't look like also, yeah.
What's the relegation safety point? 30 something, is it? 32?
Usually it's about 36, 37.
If you're Fulham, then it's 27.
Yeah, I mean, they already 1/4 of the way there.
Yeah. I remember Norwich had a good start to a season like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, that didn't help.
They also end up dying like
they
trash.
after that.
Maybe Brentford follow the same pattern. I don't know.
We can go to our match week predictions for match week 6. Obvious big game of the week, Chelsea versus Manchester City. It's on at a little bit of an inconvenient time for those Singapore viewers. Saturday 7:30 p.m.
I mean, they weren't like dominant for the full 90 minutes yet. We haven't achieved that kind of complete control of a game yet. So I have a feeling it'll be very similar to the Champions League final. Very, very tight. Probably one mistake would be the difference here if there were going to be a winner. But I'm going to lean towards the cautious side this time. I'm not confident enough to predict a straight win for Chelsea, although the form suggests like it should be a win.
I'm going to tread the cautious side also. I'm going to predict a draw also. the most boring of draws. I'm gonna bet a 1-1 draw for this.
Said that with a lot of very emphatic, because after you said draw, then you put your foot up. But okay. We go to England. Is Man City already slightly, yes, it's still early in the season, 3 points behind Chelsea and Liverpool at the top of the table. But if Man City were to lose this, is there some sort of cause of concern for Man City though?
I mean, there's bound to be, because like they haven't had a very good start to this campaign. Like first game already lose, right? So whereas in previous seasons it's always whether they can go sometimes also almost like undefeated the whole season, or go on long runs of like 10 plus 20 wins or something. So it's definitely cause of concern, and especially losing to a rival club that's like in the title race, right? So but that's the thing, like, but I don't think it's not like time to panic for Man City, because they have it in them to go on like this very long run of wins, right, that will just pull them back into the title challenge again. So and Pep is like a good enough coach to fix the team throughout the season, as we have seen from last season. I mean, last season halfway through, Spurs were on top, Man City were like in fourth or something, and then people are saying how if they can't get their defense together, then like they're gonna capitulate lah. But in the end, they still managed to put it through and win. So I think early season scares are like not really very, it doesn't threaten Man City that much. They have the ability to come back. In this game, I think it may be a draw. Like logically, if Chelsea should win, but I want them to draw, so I'm gonna go for a draw.
Okay, so I mean, it's okay to go hard overhead sometimes, but okay. What kind of draw?
1-1.
Hey, okay.
Manju also say 1-1, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted to go for a more emphatic one, 2-2.
Yeah, I cannot lah. I don't think so lah. This kind of game I got 2-2
I mean, Chelsea's defense not very leaky, so
if it was 2-2, he would have put both feet up already. For me, I think there's no way you can convince me to say that Man City can win this also, given their form. Given, yes, you can say Guardiola's a great manager and all that, but in a one-off game, he does tend to overthink a lot. If anything, that's more of a reason to say Man City might not win the game also. I'm going to go Chelsea win, 1-0.
So I think I'll go for the draw, the 0-0 lah.
Should we go one round to decide our match of the week that we want to bring up? Sorry, there's another big game we cannot cross over.
I was going to say.
See, nearly forget this Arsenal. Every time we something. Arsenal versus Tottenham. The Chelsea fans during the game, one of the things that I heard while having it in the background was that Tottenham Hotspur is happened again. That's one of their cheers. I think that was quite a good cheer. It's rhymed after the Harry Kane. He's one of our own, in case you're wondering. Yeah, I'm not going to sing, so imagine that in your head. For Arsenal, back-to-back 1-0 wins, but they've just beaten 19th and 20th in the table, so how impressive is it? Not
very impressive in the grand scheme of things, but I think at this moment in time, it's very important wins for Arsenal. At least they have a bit of momentum going into this North London derby. And even that's the thing, like the wins themselves weren't very impressive, because it's really by the fine margins, right? So I mean, you can say that it's luck or what, but I think just the fact that you win 2 games back to back, like it gives everyone at the club a bit more hope, which is definitely what you need to get out of a rut lah. Especially against Spurs, who coincidentally won their first 3 games and then lose their previous 2 games. So it's like a reverse fortune sort of thing. Yeah, so I think it will be a close game. Maybe not a very eventful or a very high scoring game, because both sides are still, I guess, trying to just survive, right? At this point, they are not really aiming for much. Just like they just want to get their squad in the right shape.
Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, Ben White have all come in. Thomas Partey signing from last season, but he wasn't really involved last season also. So now he's finally in the midfield pivot role. I mean, how much of this is like, Arsenal getting their pieces together, so now you can expect more from them?
I mean, I don't know how to gauge, because to me, they're not even quality signings.
Okay.
So even Thomas Partey?
Yeah, I mean, not like he's been on a run, right, since he came last year. He's also just come back from injury, so hard to gauge Thomas Partey. Also, maybe not fully fit. I don't know. Tomiyasu, Ben White, Martin Odegaard. they're not game changers for me lah. So I don't know how much difference it will have in Arsenal. To me, there won't be much difference lah. They'll still languish around the same, like
10.
yeah, around that middle of the table.
I think psychologically, I think Spurs beat them quite convincingly last year also. But that's when the Kane and Son were like hot form lah. Now they're like super cold again. But well, it's very hard to say because I think Spurs, Nuno maybe doesn't know his best 11 right now. His central midfield especially keeps changing. I'm not sure if he likes Harry Winks or that Oliver Skip, some youngster, or will he continue to play Ndombele? Whereas versus Arsenal, it's pretty much a one-man tank midfield, right? Like Partey has to be fit. The others are just like average. So I think it's really tight. But personally, I think if I had to pick a winner, I would inch towards Spurs because Arsenal are just not that clinical yet.
Okay, maybe for this game, I will defy Newtonian mechanics. Maybe I go against momentum a bit. So I shall... Where the fuck did that came from? I'll go for high scoring game. I'll go for a 3-1 Spurs win.
Oh, okay. Spurs to win convincingly.
I'll go for a very unconvincing Spurs 1-0 win.
This is the sort of game I feel that suddenly Kane and Son will just come back to life, or maybe for Kane it's like a bit more meaning to this game, right? Because North London derby, he's I guess still a Spurs supporter no matter what. So, but I really wanted to go to. I'll just do it. Arsenal gonna win 1-0 based on the momentum of both teams coming into this game.
Well, okay. If Arsenal really were to win 1-0, right, well, then all the AFTV Arsenal fans online going to say they win the Champions League already. Oh, wait, they're not in the Champions League. So, not even in Europe. Since nobody's gone for the draw, I'm surprised actually. I'm going to go for the draw. I'm going to go 1-1 in Arsenal and Spurs.
I think I have to go with the Brentford Liverpool. I think it'll be a fun game to watch. Fun game to watch. Two teams playing well. Brentford, potential upset there. But Liverpool is super solid right now, so getting results. So I think it'll be a fun, exciting game.
I think Brentford, definitely confidence is high. I think the game against Wolves, probably their best performance this season. More of an indictment on Arsenal than anything. But they played like half an hour to try and stave off Wolves. Wolves didn't really threaten even after Brentford went down to 10 men. Unfortunately, I think wrong time to face Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess it's their first big opposition.
Well, Arsenal their first match was pretty big.
At that point they were still sort of okay. That was the first game. So
Arsenal were top of the table.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, it's like I guess Brentford's first serious test in the league. So it's gonna be interesting from that angle to see how they're gonna do. But from Liverpool's point of view, I think Liverpool are gonna win quite convincingly. Even though for the previous week, even though the score was like 3-0 beating Crystal Palace, Klopp said it was the hardest sort 3-0. So Liverpool has this thing about not playing very, very well, but for them it's more of being solid and being able to get results despite not playing as well.
Brentford have like 4 times as many points as Newcastle.
No, don't go there.
Oh my god.
Impressed with Brentford start though?
Of course I am, I guess. Yeah. Of course it'll be impressive. But then again, like I don't know what's the syndrome's called, but is that Norwich syndrome, the one you have like a good start, they just fade away.
I don't think there's a name for it, but okay.
I think there's a name for it. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, but dangerous for Brentford. If any of their 2 front men go down, I think that's the start of their downfall.
Brentford are the 14th promoted side to get 8 points after 5 games. All previous 13 promoted sides stayed up. So good sign for Brentford. Shit.
But about the game, since Chelsea and Liverpool like to couple the whole season, right? Then maybe I go for 1-1 draw. I go for 1-1 draw also 1-1.
Okay, interesting. There'll be a big, not scout, but still big achievement for Brentford also. Nah, I don't see Brentford scoring. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
No. I'll go for a conservative 2-0 also.
Yeah, I just think it'll be fun to see how the forwards match up against Van Dijk and whoever plays with him, Kunate, whoever it is. It's always fun to see Van Dijk being tested and winning. I like to watch good defenders. So Van Dijk is really fun to watch. So I also agree that Liverpool will come out victors because Van Dijk is too good. I'll also go for 2-0 actually.
Man U, Aston Villa.
Okay.
Because Aston Villa coming into this with quite... Wait, where is this going to be played?
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford.
Oh, shit. I guess it's going to be a bit of a tougher test for Man U this time around because Aston Villa doing okay. Feels like they're slowly finding their form. Yeah, I think Man U time to drop some points there. They also win too much already. I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
Technically, Aston Villa have their full strength squad here, besides Trezeguet. I still don't think so. I don't think even at full strength they are a test for Man U. So I'll go for 3-1. 3-1 Man U win.
Mirroring Inran's sentiments also. Maybe if this was away from home, I would have been more confident with the draw here. I'm going to go Man U to win 2-1. They'll scrape another win.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly. Same scoreline, Man U 2-1.
Okay, I'm going to go for the Leicester-Burnley game. Because I feel Leicester, they freaking desperate need to get some points, man. If not, it could be a bust. I'm not sure why Leicester aren't doing well. The reason I pinpoint because James Maddison isn't doing very well. And last year they were quite a bit on him. This season, not really in form. Harvey Elliott. What's his name? Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes.
Yeah. Harvy Barnes can see he be getting into his groove a bit because he scored a few. Still
but he was the main villain of the show because of him standing offside.
Oh yeah, that piece
goals.
of shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah, two goals ruled out.
Yeah, but Harvey Barnes seems like and even Jamie Vardy goes missing throughout the whole game. I barely even see him the whole game. So I feel that this is a perfect chance for them to get some points. But even though I won't be surprised if they drop more points from this game, then there'll be quite a disaster. Maybe a 1-0 Leicester win.
Yeah, as unconvincing as Leicester have been, I'm going to try to put them as winners again until they finally win.
Okay.
I'm going to go for a 1-0.
2-1 Leicester win.
Surely it must be a Leicester win, right?
Surely lah.
Yeah, Leicester 2-0. But I'm going to go Everton Norwich.
Why?
I mean, this is a possible, even though Norwich 5 losses in a row and all that, Everton's squad, yes, even, with all those injuries and all that, should be enough to beat Norwich.
I don't
but
think so.
You never know, with the replacements they've brought in and all that, mainly the problem with a lot of the replacements are that they're very inconsistent and they have low floors, I would like to say. Begovic on a bad day can be really bad. Iwobi on a bad day can go completely missing. So, I mean, I think it seems a bit odd that Benitez is so sure that he kicked James Rodriguez out because he said he doesn't want to play with 10. Gylfi Sigurdsson also unavailable. So, it doesn't seem like Everton have a lot of creative ways to find a goal, especially now without Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison also. I'm going to go Norwich pick up their first point here. 1-1.
No, I don't think so. I think maybe Demarai Gray and Josh Townsend can scrape them over the line. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Everton win.
Don't want to push the panic button so fast yet for Everton. It was just their first loss this weekend. So I think I'll still go for Everton win. Maybe 1-0.
Norwich defense hasn't inspired confidence despite Billy Gilmore's best efforts.
No idea how he's doing.
Game-changing player. I don't know.
Who knows? Who has watched Norwich this season? But okay.
I watch highlights but he doesn't look that good. He can make 1 or 2 good passes here and there but other than that, no.
His role is very simple, just to release the ball to someone else.
my only takeaway from Norwich is they always have a very confusing pronunciation of players. Como Bamadelli. I think I practiced enough to know how to pronounce it.
We just need to know Pookie only. That's all. He's going to score again, but Everton's going to win 2-1.
Yeah, we'll go with the Saturday 10 p.m. game, Leeds versus West Ham.
West Ham all the way. I would think a West Ham win. Even without Antonio, they show that they can attack really well. So, should be no issue. Leeds also a bit struggle to score here and there. Brentford not on form. I think Rafinha is out. So, I'm going to go for a 2-0 West Ham win.
3-1 West Ham.
A little closer for me. I think West Ham will win 2-1 instead.
I think not a good sign for Leeds though. I mean, I don't think they'll be in relegation trouble. It looks like, with some injuries and all that, their squad is quite small. You never know. Although they did play what can be considered their first team now and in the Carabao Cup last night. They played against us. They played against Fulham. We rotated because we are going for promotion. So we played our second team and drew 0-0. It's not a good sign for this. I'm going to go draw for this. I'm going to go 1-1. Watford will be at home against Newcastle. Is this a must-win game for Steve Bruce? Given all the shenanigans happening at St. James's Park.
You know how they say to stop forest fires, you should add more forest fires?
I
I don't think there's that saying, but okay.
Yeah, I think that the only way to save this club is to lose more games.
What?
Then put pressure on Fat Ashley, put pressure on Fat Bruce. Yeah, I think they have to have like unfixable turmoil to fix this club. Don't know how. Yeah, I don't think so. I could go for a loss here. Us losing.
Okay.
We'll go for a Watford 2-1 win.
I'm going to go Watford 2-1 also.
I kind of like Saint Maximin. He seems to be hitting decent form. He's the savior right now, like instead of Callum Wilson. So yeah, I think Newcastle should have enough quality to overcome Watford. So I think it'll be 2-1, but Newcastle win instead.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go for a draw 1-1.
Southampton versus Wolves on Sunday.
I think these two clubs are so uninspiring. No one's scoring. I mean, if you look at the teams, who's going to score? None of them are in scoring form at all. I just go for a competitive 0-0 draw.
Very competitive.
I tried this last week with another ex-Newcastle striker. So I'm gonna try this again this week. Manjun, is Adam Armstrong gonna score?
Yeah, I think so. I think sooner or later Hansel will realise that 37 points will not save them. So if he draws the rest of the 37 games, he'll probably still be in the dogfight. So
Okay.
to start winning somehow. Go for a 1-0 Southampton win.
I think I'm going to go for a draw, another 1-1.
I think hard to argue against a draw. I'm gonna go high scoring for this since both of them haven't been scoring. Why not? Southampton Wolves 2-2. Last game, Crystal Palace Brighton. This is technically a derby.
I am still confident in my boy Conor Gallagher. I think Crystal Palace did, but I do think they need to bring on the Edouard more. Yeah, like probably start him because whoever else they use is really just not good enough. Like Benteke, no way.
I was about to say that whoever else they use is yeah.
Yeah, it has to be Benteke, yeah, who is really just not doing enough. But I'll go with a Crystal Palace 2-1.
Hard to look past Brighton winning. They have been in good form, and I'm happy for them because last season we keep saying they are like playing good football, but they somehow not winning games. 2-1 Brighton win.
Draw for this one, 1-1.
Yeah, I'll go with Mark's boy. I'll go with Leandro Trossard. I think like Neil Maupay also doing quite well this season. That new dude, what's his name? Mark Cucurella also doing
yes,
quite well.
yeah.
Yeah, Danny Welbeck.
Danny Welbeck. Yeah, okay lah.
I think he scored, right?
Yeah, still not the biggest fan of Danny Welbeck, but yeah.
I think even Danny Welbeck is not the biggest fan of Danny Welbeck.
so wasted potential. How big can I go? How big should I go? Go for
Brighton.
4-3, 4-3.
I know a bit lower. Go for a 3-2 Brighton win.
Wow!
Okay.
Fantastic. Walao
Sadly, nobody will be there to see all 5 goals.
what game is it?
Tuesday
what
3
the
a.m.
hell
Tuesday
is
3
this game even? Yeah. Never mind.
I guess maybe before the FPL, I think there's also a championship update.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I know Fulham lost or they drew. They drew. Is it?
1 win, 1 loss this week. Beat Troy Deeney's Birmingham 4-1. Troy Deeney scored. But
Damn.
unfortunately, just the one consolation goal. We lost 2-1 to Reading after that, so we're still second in the table. Although first managerial sacking of the season, Chris Hughton at Nottingham Forest.
Oh, so fast. Oh, damn.
Yeah, after just 5 games. I think 5 losses in a row. Yeah, although Derby County, Wayne Rooney, could have points deduction because they just went to administration, so they could be deducted
12,
up to 21 points.
Oh, they are
Holy shit.
12 points confirmed for administration, but they also have potential additional 9 more points deducted because of financial irregularities. So who knows?
Oh my god.
With 21 points, I think that's the end for Derby. Not their club, but like they'll be down this season. We can go next to the FPL. I guess maybe we can start with Manjun first.
Okay. Exciting stuff. I think I'm maximum 30 points on this year.
I have no idea. I didn't check like
maximum 30 points. I
else's.
can foresee. I have a lot of Leicester players. Let me tell you, that's disgusting.
Oh my god, Leicester.
Oh my god. Look at that disaster show of a Leicester. Okay, 2 Leicester players. I mean, I brought in Sam Maximin. I brought in Jack Grealish for Son Heung-min. So I guess that was also yeah. Other than that, nothing. I had faith in Saka. He did okay. Got a win. I take out Harvey Barnes. He can screw off Harvey Barnes. But you never know lah.
But against Burnley, you never know. Maybe he rediscovered his mojo.
Can is can lah, but I feel that his team as overall not very good. know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, he's not the kind that can carry a team. But yeah, 43 points, not too bad.
I think mine also not exactly very good.
I think you have like 60 points, right?
No, 41.
What? Say, it's supposed to me? Are you kidding?
I tell you.
Yeah,
My
why got
defense
Salah?
terrible.
Walao.
Luka Dean -1 because he fucking scored an own goal.
Oh yeah, walao.
He
eh.
couldn't keep his head to himself.
How your Ismail Sarr get 15 points?
He played the hell out of himself this week.
Walao.
Yeah. I mean, I would never have captain Ismail Sarr, so 15
Yeah.
points was the best he's going to get really. Yeah.
It was Nelson Semedo always in your team?
No, that was the transfer I made.
Oh, why though? Why Nelson Semedo?
It was Nelson Semedo for Andreas Christensen, which of course now, with hindsight, it was a very bad choice. Wolves with quite a kind schedule next few weeks, like Southampton, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Leeds.
Fantastic. I think it's a good time to put Semedo in. Because I think he was scoring all of them.
But this is a Wolves fixture list.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, why I think of Newcastle? Oh yeah. Okay, can.
Wow, okay, this is a person who really did well this week.
Walewe.
I got lucky.
What the frick? That's Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, I got quite lucky.
The hard carry. Nice.
You see, right?
Yeah, Rudiger somehow scored. What the heck?
Both me and Manjun doing this, I don't know, like no Salah, no Fernandez kind of
Yeah.
strategy,
But
right?
actually, I think you need Salah, but I try to bypass the
Correct.
Salah. See the other ways.
I don't know. I don't
it's
think
like
there's
top
another
tier.
way around it. Unless you go
Yeah.
CR7.
I was hoping like Jack Grealish should be my Salah, but apparently not.
Yeah,
He's
he
the
has the
Salah.
potential.
I tried to go around it by using Jota, but clearly it's not the same.
Wait, who does Southampton play? Forget.
Wolves.
Southampton Wolves.
Oh
You
yeah,
can lah.
okay.
I think you can play Livramento.
This one you can
just
keep Livramento.
I think you can put as
Yeah.
captain some more. Yeah.
Really? I don't know.
Probably one goal, one assist.
Will you ever captain the defender though?
Depends
No,
which
I
defender.
don't know. Very rare, very rare.
Maybe if Liverpool against Norwich, then
Trent lah.
captain TAA.
Trent maybe, yeah. But you will
Maybe.
never even if Rudiger played out of his skin this week, you will never captain Rudiger lah.
Yeah, no way. Centre back especially hard. Nah.
Oh, you captain Rudiger, wow, you have 28 points. It was crazy.
I was tempted to put Gilmore instead of Alan, but I resisted. Cause Norwich. I have no faith in Norwich.
Yeah, it really seems like Norwich. Why did they even bother getting promoted?
Yeah, the same gang as West Brom.
Same gang.
They come up, then they drop below, they get 100 million free, then come up again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Apparently, right, I read this article where apparently Daniel Farker, I think that's easier way to pronounce
Daniel
it rather
Farker.
than-
Yeah.
apparently his how to say his KPI? No, he's sort of like
KPI.
Is it just
what
to
is
stay up?
expected out of him is not just to stay up, is to get the top 26 in English football. So he can be in the Premier League or in the playoffs of the
Oh
championship.
my god, so
wait,
chill.
Apparently, that's good enough.
Oh, top 26 some more.
So
Walao.
this year is a free year for him.
So free hit for him.
Oh my god. What a good job.
No.
Yeah.
Freaking Newcastle also top 26 the last 20 seasons. So
No, but Newcastle is top 20 I'm sure.
yeah, I'm sure. Best is top 17.
17 lah,
sorry,
yeah.
top
Yeah.
17, correct. Hopefully you've enjoyed our review of last week's games and our predictions for the upcoming match week. Stay tuned. Maybe next week we might have an interview or maybe the Arsenal fan might join us for our main show. We don't know. We'll see about her schedule. Even though we know nothing, hopefully today you've learned something. We'll see you again next week. Bye.
Aye.
Bye.